a little bit from the start of chapter 5. By the time Jethro encounters death for the first time, he must have seen or read or heard of thousands of examples of it on the news, or, as is mostly the case, faked in TV programs and movies, in books, in comics, in stories. Voices of caution in his head whisper that violence on television only encourages violence in real life, but he doesn't know what to make of this. He's seen and read and heard of plenty of violence on television, yet doesn't feel any inherent need to commit real violence. If anything, the violence he's grown up with has reinforced his will to avoid real violence. You either have the killer instinct or you don't, and he doesn't. And so maybe TV's faked violence and the cruelty of the world he's grown up in has put paid to that desire. But violence isn't the same as death. Smoking one cigarette doesn't kill people, but smoking thousands of them for many years can, and thus death is invited. So being in one fight as a victim doesn't incur immediate death. So there must be, he concludes, two types of death. Death that one invites through poor judgment, and death that one doesn't expect and comes as a surprise. He figures the second version of death is probably the best of the two choices when it comes to extinction. With the first, the victim has a little bit of dignity in making death work for its prize and wait to claim its trophy. With the second, death is a drunken driver that swerves into his path on the way home from school or work. Either way, if you put up a fight or you're taken by surprise, death wins. Death is a wake-up call to respect anew the fragility of life, and also to try to live it as best he can, despite his myriad of deficiencies. Jethro's first brush with death comes close to home in January 1978, and as a complete surprise.